Hey everybody, Nate here from the VP Wine Store again, talking to you today about more wine, our favorite subject. Today we're taking a little visit to the Temecula wine region. And for those of you who don't know, the VP Wine Store is located in Murrieta, California, and that town actually borders Temecula. And if you're not familiar with California wine regions, or you only know Napa, Sonoma, the Temecula wine region is actually a fairly popular wine region in California. It doesn't get as much notice. You're not going to find the wines like you'd find the big Napa, Sonoma wines, or even Paso Robles wines across the country. It's kind of a little smaller market. It's actually more of like a destination winery trip versus the quality of wines. One of the things that they do is they have a lot of buses, limo tours, stuff like that. They come from San Diego, LA, come out and go to the winery. So it's a big, it's a fun place to visit. The wineries there are beautiful. The wines are pretty good. You're not going to find the same quality as in all the wineries as you would in Napa, but there are definitely some good producers. So Temecula is actually located, if you're familiar with San Diego, it's about an hour north of San Diego and a little bit inland. So it's quite a bit inland, so it's a little bit hotter than your traditional Southern California weather you're probably expecting if you're not from the area. Those of you who do know where Temecula is, you know it gets pretty hot there in the summer, 100 degrees. But anyways, so Temecula kind of has, the wines that they produce are more typical for hot weather wines. Zinfandels, some cabs and stuff like that are pretty popular. So the wine we're taking today is actually from Temecula area. It's actually from Duluth, and Duluth is a little bit different. It's, instead of it being in the valley, it's up in the hills a little bit, and it doesn't get quite as hot during the day, and it's still about 15 miles from the ocean, so it still gets some coastal breezes. And then at night, we like to talk about diurnals, which is the difference between daytime temperature and nighttime temperature. That can swing 20 to 30 degrees. So it leaves for a different type of climate than typical Temecula wine. So Casa Tiene Vista is the winery we're talking about today. I have 3 of their wines here. We'll go talk about them as I taste them for you guys. The owners and proprietors are Susan and Mick Gallagher, and they are a couple that have been fascinated with wine for a lot of years. And back in the day, they were touring Napa, taking people up on guided tours of Napa, and they decided they wanted to one day own their own vineyard. And lo and behold, they made that dream come true. But before they did that, they researched where they could do a vineyard that would be able to produce the wines that they wanted to produce. And after research, being from Southern California, they didn't want to move up to Northern California. They researched and they came across the Temecula area, and specifically Duluth, which is, like I said, up in the hills. And Duluth actually means light or clarity. So they kind of found this beautiful place, and it overlooks, it has a great view. Casa Tiene Vista is Spanish for house with a view. And it has a beautiful view of the Santa Rosa Plateau. And it's nestled on the south end of the Santa Ana Mountains, right at the end of them. So it's just a beautiful vineyard, or a beautiful property. And they've actually allowed it to be, you can go up there, taste wines, and enjoy the views. And it's just a beautiful place. And instead of to be more like an old school European vineyard, like an Italian Tuscan vineyard, where it's a working vineyard, but it's also, you can go there and relax and enjoy their company and drink some wines. They're 2 exceptionally friendly people, gracious hosts. They put together some big tasting parties and pairing parties where they put together elaborate dinners and pair the wines, and you have the chance to get invited to that. I hear that's it's a fabulous time, great chance to go out there and drink wines and meet with great people. So anyways, we're going to get to their wines. So the first one we're going to get to is the City Lights Chardonnay. And the City Lights brand is their, what you call, everyday consumption brand. This is under $20 wine, more for daily drinking. The great thing about this wine is it's 13.8% alcohol. And a lot of California wines are known for their 14.5 to 15% alcohol. This one's lower, 13.8. So it's kind of a trend that's kind of becoming a little bit more popular among sommeliers in the area, is the lower alcohol wines, more balanced, drink it with food. So anyways, we're going to get to it. This one is unoaked. You know, that's another trend that's kind of going the way of popularity now, is people are sick of buttery shards. So, you know, they're going unoaked. That just means instead of being in oak barrels, it's fermented in stainless steel barrels. Anyways, the color on this is like a light golden straw color. Very clear. On the nose, you can smell a little bit of honey. Definitely floral. And I smell some citrus too. Kind of some lemony lime, something zesty. So. On the palate, real smooth. It's got quite a long finish. Again, it's got that honey, that citrus flavor. A little warm at the end. I'm kind of liking this one. Very smooth. If you're used to big Chardonnays, oak bombs, buttery stuff, you're probably not going to like this one. But if you want to try something that's smooth and refreshing and a little bit different than a typical Napa Chard, you might enjoy this one. You know, just enjoy, if you like stepping outside the box and trying different regions, you know, again, this would probably be something to do. Unlike some of the other regions you're probably used to. So, not a bad Chardonnay. Again, it's for everyday consumption. Probably go with some nice food, something light, and drink that on a nice afternoon and just enjoy yourself. Okay, the next one we're going to go to is Pinot Noir. The Sea Lights Pinot Noir. And what's different about this Pinot Noir is Temecula is not known for Pinot Noir. It's actually really hot here. And Pinot Noir does not like super hot weather. It likes a little cooler, it likes a little ocean breeze. It likes cold nights. So it doesn't grow really well here. But like I said, this is not in your typical Temecula area winery. It's up in the hills. And it does have those cool coastal breezes and those diurnals we're looking for. So they're able to grow some Pinot and put something together. Looking at this one, it's very light in color. It's like a light garnet. On the nose, a little bit of strawberries and blackberries. It's kind of got a little bit of an earthy barnyard smell. Not like bad Brettanomyces barnyard, but just a little earthy. Like if you're out on a farm, just kind of being outdoors, that kind of smell to it. Taste is smooth, not a lot of tannins. It's actually a very smooth wine. Again, this is 13.8%, a lot lower on the alcohol, a little bit more balanced. There's not a lot of acid. It's got a little bit of strawberries to it. Not real fruity, kind of an earthy, kind of a low-key one. This one probably gonna go nicely with some light meats, maybe some seafood. Not real overpowering. You know, it's different than your Pinots you're probably used to. It's definitely not a fruit bomb. It kind of reminds me of the Santa Rita Hills type Pinots, if you've tried those. But again, it's kind of a lot mellower, not a big kick to it. So it's definitely different. And if you want to try something different, I think you'd dig this one. I think if you sat back and drank through the bottle, you'd probably enjoy yourself. You'd probably end up recommending this one to some friends as a decent one to try. Again, everyday consumption wines. Very, very good for the Temecula area. I'm liking this one. That's kind of the one thing about Temecula is some of the wines are real hit or miss. Some of them kind of suck. Some are great. You just got to kind of look around, see what it is, but don't let that stop you from visiting. It's definitely a fun time. Everybody has a blast when they come out. Sometimes maybe a little too much fun, a little bit of a party tour. It's like if you go up to Napa, the wineries are spread out a little bit further. You go to one, you kind of enjoy yourself. Temeculas are kind of all on the street, so you kind of go bounce, bounce, bounce. And if you're on a party tour or a bus or a limo, you're gonna hit a bunch of them, and you're probably drinking in between the vineyards, so you're probably going to get a little tipsy, a little toasted, but I'm sure you'll have a good time. If you're not into that, there's some smaller ones off the main strip. You can go visit those as well and check them out. So anyways, we're going to go over to the City Lights, Casa Tiene Vista, City Lights, Cabernet Sauvignon. Now, you're probably thinking cab, Temecula cabs, what are they like? They're different. They're not big in oaky. They're not the big tannins. They're not the big bold things out of Napa. It's a little bit hot. Temecula's kind of coming into its own. But again, City Lights coming from a different place, so we're going to probably get some different tastes. So let's get to this one. Color on this is a little bit darker than the Pinot was, but it's still kind of light. It's not real dark and black and inky. It kind of reminds me of what a Pinot, a lot of other Pinots look like in color, for that matter. On the nose, kind of smells a little bit of pepper. It's got your typical black cherry and dark fruits that cabs have. And again, it's a little bit earthy. For a cab, very soft going down. There's none of that tannin bite. It's a very smooth, long finish. Kind of smoky. It's got some good fruit to it. Like I said, this one, all these have been a little bit more balanced, a little bit less of these powerful flavors are just overwhelming, where your mouth's going, yeah, what is all this stuff? And it just overwhelms anything. I think any one of these wines is going to go perfect for having some food with it. It's going to balance nicely with the meal, so you're going to be able to enjoy the food and the wine. These probably aren't your patio pounders where you're just drinking the wine for the wine, but they're not going to overwhelm if you got a huge oaky cab where it's going to overwhelm whatever you're eating with it. So it's going to pair nicely. Again, 13.6 for a cab out of California. That is low in alcohol. Other than that, it's got the medium body. It's definitely different. Definitely a lot more mellow of a cab. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with what Nick Gallagher and Susan Gallagher are doing out of Casa Tiene Vista. If you're in the Temecula area, it's a vineyard that requires appointment only. So you're going to want to go onto their website, check them out, and give them a call, set up an appointment. And the cool thing about it, if the party trail ain't for you, this probably is. So I'd give them a call and make a straw top to it. We're going to carry this one in our store. We're kind of being selective of the wines we're going to carry in the store. We carry a little bit more on the website than we do in the store, but Temecula, we're trying to have a few different wines you're not going to be able to pick up anywhere. Most of the stuff where this is at, San Diego up to LA, you might find it in a restaurant or a couple of small specialty shops. We're probably not going to find it anywhere but on the internet. We're right here at Vino Paraiso wine store. So if you guys like something different, you want to try a new wine region that you haven't tried before, just to give it a, kick the tires, there's a good starting point. I think you guys would be happy with what you got here. So anyways, that's all I got. Nate from Vino Paraiso Wine Store. Be sure and check us out. If you can, subscribe over here or over here, wherever the subscribe button shows up. You want to click that subscribe. That way you're always getting the latest videos, updates from us. We're also on Twitter. You can follow us there. You can like us on Facebook. We're posting stuff up there all the time, what we're going to be tasting in the store, events, stuff like that, what's going on. So love it on social media. If you guys hit us up, we want to hear your feedback. We want to hear what you're drinking. So if you get a chance, leave some notes in the comments. What do you guys think about Temecula wines? Have you been there? Have you tasted anything? Something it's great. You want to recommend? Does a place suck? We want to hear what you think about Temecula wine regions. Anyways, that's all I got. Nate from Vino Paraiso, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.